Good morning. Welcome to the shop. There's an awesome little 1/8 scale 10-inch Arnold figurine with a dollar bill to scale it. Pretty cool in detail. But then we're about to boost this thing up by about 700%. And that, my friend, is the boot for the new model. What a difference, huh? Look at this little boot compared to that boot, huh? So that's a little teaser on what we're gonna be getting. We're gonna change this little 10-inch guy into a 6-foot tall T800. Get ready for that. Sorry, Arnold, you're just not big enough for the job. Alright, you know what the hype is about. We're gonna take that big ass custom built Giga back there, and we're gonna turn this little 10-inch Arnold right here into a 6-foot tall monster killing machine. Alright, let's get this sent over to the printers. As you can see, we're going to be doing the bamboos first, because the bamboo's always a freaking mess. So if I can find my computer here, let's start sending some shit over to the printers. Alright, let's do the head first. The head we're going to do in some colors, but since we got the AMS, might as well use it, right? Alright, so let's send him over to bamboo number 1. Send. I'll be able to add to my my colorful desk over here. Nice, nice, he's over. Alright, let's go to the hands and the neck. Let's send them over to bamboo number 3. Send. Alright, so far no problems. I already went over all the settings and all that in my last video. If you want to see how to convert this little model into a Gigantor, take a look at that video, because there's some tricks you need to know before you can just expand the model 800% or whatnot. Alright, last but not least, we already made one boot. We're gonna do the left boot. I'm gonna send that to bamboo numero 2. And send. Alright, they're all set. Let's get clear a little area here. Let's go see how we looking. Alright, the moment of truth. Got the Giga warming up. So excited. I'm skipping making my filament holders here. I was gonna build my own filament drying boxes, one for a single roll and one for giant rolls, but I went ahead and bought a Creality Gigantor filament dryer. It's got to be big since the gig is big. And I bought this Creality single roll filament dryer, and I'm going to mount them both up top there. Since these rolls are so exposed, I don't want to keep taking them on and off to dry them. They'll just sit up there and dry while they print, which is awesome. I want to show you one other thing. Since it's PLA, I'm not going to be using my vent fan out the window. So I have it unhooked and have my ASA plug in there. I just want to show you the power of this vent fan when I turn it on with the plug in there. Check it out. Woo, it's like defies gravity. Strong little fan, huh? I thought that was awesome. Alright, this bad boy's heating up. Let's go over to the computer. Alright, the moment of truth. The Giga's first print, and it's gonna be a monster. We're sliced up, torso first, ready to send this to the printer. Let's go. My lucky boot. Hit print, upload and print. Fingers crossed. My plate's heated up, our nozzle's heated up. Got my 3 kg roll loaded up. It said it should be just about under 3 kilograms, so I bought a 5 to start, but let's see if we can get away with the 3 kilogram roll. Let's check in on our 3 amigos over here. Doing good. Got our head, our boot, our hands, and our neck. Everything going without a hitch. Everything's sticking. Nothing's jammed. No filament. Not doing this or not doing that. Everything looking good. No bamboozling today. Right, let's make it this little test splooge. At least I think that's what it's doing, yeah. There's this little test splooge. That's what this thing does first. Got some movement going. And there we go, we're printing. Alright, so here's something I really hate. I got this skin color matte filament because I was able to get it quick at a good price. I got 2 rolls, so I didn't have to wait to finish one project. That line on the bottom is my bad because I paused it and I had my hands in and out of the machine moving it around before I restarted it. So that's not the material. If you see, it's coming out good. Look at the infill is nice, slight stringing, but I'm flying. Look at that, like a madman. This is the end of the print. I always zap them up at the end. But then look at this, same filament, same lot, same company. Look at the infill, it's horrible. What is that? What a nightmare. This has already been going for like 3 hours, so I don't want to stop it. You can tell by how good the brown is that it's nothing to do with the print. It's this matte beige. I mean, the exterior walls are looking okay. They're a little bit see-through, but I'm not going to stop it. As long as the exterior walls can hold this head together, I'm happy with it. You know, because it's not for function. It's just a for show model, so let's hope it holds up, man. But that really pisses me off. Look at that. What is that crap? Well, anyway, that's the progress so far. There's our boot. Boot's looking good. Infill, almost there with that. I stopped the hands because the hands, they didn't have much contact on the plate, so I didn't trust them. So as soon as this neck is done, I'm gonna throw the hands back on. And that's our progress for right now. Gig is still going. First layers. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Little time lapse going on that. Alright, it's Friday night, man. We'll see where we're at on Monday. There's the hands. The hands are looking really good. The whole support ended up just cracking off. that side too. So I taped an old support upside down so it gave me a little work surface, you know, because with the tape these will not fall off. And you can see it's starting to make its little baby supports on the top, sort of like growing mushrooms. So let's see how that works, you know. Come on, focus. Let's see how that works. Never mind how shitty this filament is. Thank God the outside layer is good, because I don't know what it's doing in the inside layer. I mean, man, this is a lesson in hard knocks right here, this plant. But I'm not giving up. Look at that, my rigged up supports are actually working. If they didn't catch the bottom of those sunglasses and I had to start this print over, I would have been really pissed. I mean, it looks a little shaky, probably because the support's a little shaky, but once it catches up and grabs the face, I'll be good. Hopefully the other side is grabbing. Fingers crossed, we're getting there. Well, I would say it almost worked. At least I'll still have a head. I'll just cut the glasses off of another model and print them on their own. What else can I do, right? And even just gluing this on, a little black epoxy, I think would be good enough. Remind me of those old glasses that have like the lines in them, like blinds, like window blinds. Yeah. As long as the head completes, I'll be happy. Alright, we're about a third of the way through the torso. As you know, this is my first large print. I tried setting up a time lapse, but it's just so long that the phone just keeps shutting off the memory and the battery. It's just crazy, so I'll figure that out by the time we get to the legs. But this is the leather jacket and torso right now. Looking good. Looking excellent, actually. The bridging is great with no supports. I mean, that's a pretty long bridge right there to travel. I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at, but right there. Nice. Give you another update in a little while. Alright, so here's a head update. So you can see the supports failed for the glasses, of course. So I cut off a set. I'm going to just print just a set of the sunglasses over here and see if I could do the repair on here. Other than that, everything's looking good. See that crappy infill from this horrible beige matte filament. It's perfect with the brown. But as long as this outer wall looks as good as it does, I'm fine with that. You know? And so I'm either going to repair the glasses or leave them like that and paint that one eye red. Make it like the tiniest bit of exposure that there's a robot inside of him, you know? But we'll see when we get there. And again, here's the leather jacket. Upper torso being printed. I don't know if you can kind of tell yet, but that's the t-shirt in the front. It's actually upside down. You can tell by the size of this zipper how big the scale is of this. Here's my finger next to the zipper. Pretty big. I'm so excited. Hopefully I can figure out how to get a time lapse going by the time I do the legs. But I'm so happy right now. We got our boots. We got our life-size hands. Our neck. I redid the neck because it had a layer flaw. And then there's our example model right there that we're blowing up. Almost 800% bigger. Getting there, fellas. Another quick update while I figure out this time-lapse situation. Looking good. No issues at all that I can see. And if you notice, I did slice the two parts of the torso, the shoulders and the jacket. But this is my first big print on this printer, and I figure if one part fails, one part fails. If two parts fail, then that's a disaster. So instead of rushing, I'll do one part at a time on the plate. It's still going to be about the same amount of time, so it's not like a double extruder or something like that. So it's just the safest way to do it, and that's why you only see the one part on the plate right now. Hopefully I'll have the time lapse figured out for the cool parts like the shotgun and the legs and things. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. So I tried my best to save that print. I ended up just pulling those off. This side of the glass is collapsed. This side's a little rough, so I cut myself another set of lenses. And I'll either cut these off and glue those on, or just paint this eye red and make it like the glass is broke, and that's the one hint of a robot being inside the human right there. That's going to be popping out. What do you think? We'll see. I got a little time to think about it. Got about another 2 hours on this print. Can't wait. Gig is humming in the background with the body. Alright. We got the torso done. The leather jacket. Looking pretty awesome. Wow, not bad for the time it took. Is it like a day and a half tops for this? Got these little baby prints that take longer than that. Came out pretty freaking awesome. And what was cool is I got to turn off these front two plates and only keep the top back heat on. You know, use half the power. So I noticed that as my prints, if I could fit a print totally onto one plate as it finishes, I could keep those plates off or on as I please, which is a pretty cool feature of having the 4 plates. Alright, cool man, cool. Let's get him off. That's, like I said, I cut the top part off so I didn't have to use supports. And that's it. On to part 2. We're gonna get the rest of the body going and then put them together. I'll be back.